What's good, YouTube? What's good, people? What's going on? How is everybody doing? How everybody doing out there? It's your boy Harlem, and I'm back again with another video. So today's video gonna be a trade breakdown, educational video, but this is not mainly a trade breakdown. I would like to say this will be how I or how to trade support and resistance using any trading pay. It just depends on your execution and how you base your entries and what confirms your entries, right? So I will break down how I took Friday's trade. There's no Friday's trade. Yeah, but I think it was on Friday because Thursday I think I ain't took a trade. Yeah, I think it's on Friday, right? So this trade or this or what I'm about to share, people, like I said, this is how I personally and how to, because I'm now sharing this, but financial disclaimer, everything I say or do is entirely based on my own opinion and my own experience. It might happen, it might not. You just need to be prepared for anything that might happen and just brace yourself with either the results and just that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share and turn on notifications to get notified every time I upload something new. And so that boosts the algorithm, right? So this is based on the hourly time frame, strictly the hourly time frame. You guys know that I look for momentum on the daily and the 4 hour, but I trade strictly the hourly because that's the way I'm used to trading anything. So when you see what happened before, let me remove this. Okay, and this one. This one. Let me remove this. Yeah. So now we're starting all over from the start, the way it all starts, right? Okay, just wait on my trading views. It's kind of slow for now. Trading views kind of slow. I don't know why. So people, let's look at the NAS, right? You can clearly see that the price is in an uptrend, right? Prices a push phase and price in an exhaustion phase, right? But some type of bullish flag and price is a what continuation push phase to the upside, creating this higher high, right? And price does what? Pulls back, creating this type of higher low, right? Or the support structure, supply, demand. I don't know what you say it is. This is basically a higher low for me slash a support that's Nasdaq has formed on my current market price, right? So with price pushing to the upside, right? Breaking this high now. We have violated what? This high. We've taken out this high. Now we now have a new what? Higher high right here. So price creating a new higher high, price does what? Pulls back, right? Again, creating this type of support or this double top, this double bottom, or this triple bottom, whatever that you can say it is, and price continues to the upside. Now we've broken up this high and this high, creating this new high, right? And price doing what? Pushing to the downside, pushing to the upside now, right? And then pushing impulsively back to the downside. So when you now see what prices did now, we broke this higher high right here, and price started moving sideways when you basically look at it in this form, right? Price started moving what? Sideways. So when you basically see what I'm trying to say is, Nasdaq kind of like created this type of head and shoulders. So if you basically, if you see what I'm kind of, if we see what I'm trying to go with this thing, right? So price kind of like moving sideways, creating this type of support, creating this type of zone, right? So when you now see now, because now when you see, because prices now did what? Created a high, right? Broke out of the high, creating this new higher high, broke back in of the high, anticipating a continuation to the upside. Price couldn't break above the previous high, and price is creating some type of what? Some type of zone, right? And price kind of like tempted to break out again, unfortunately breaking in with an impulsive candlestick, this very same candlestick this bearish engulfing candlestick, when you see that it broke this high, this low, and broke this low, and broke this low. You understand me? Never mind the mercy chart, people. I'm trying to teach you all something, right? So now, when you see now prices created some type of zone like this, we have created this type of zone, this lows, right? When we have kind of like did what violated the lows, and price did what continue to the downside. When you now see the reason why price now moved to the downside, it's basically or mainly because, let me try and clean this chart up real quick and show you what I'm trying to tell you and show you something, right? So when you now see, okay, and also this arrows in this one. So, and this high, this one. So when you now see what I've explained, right? Price did what? Price created this high, right? And price did what? Broke out of the high and broke back in of the high, right? We now have a zone right there. But for now, because I put it right here, I'm comfortable with it staying right here, right? It's just how I trade, right? So when you now see that, okay, prices kind of like did what? Tempted to break out again, because now prices created this form. This has created this zone. We're now seeing price doing what? Tapping and pushing to the downside, tapping and pushing to the downside, tapping and pushing to the downside. And we had this breakout and this break back in, and this impulsive big candlestick moving to the downside. When you now see, okay, price has pushed to the downside, right? How are you going to look for your entries now? How are you going to look for your entries in something like this? It's simple, because now prices broke out of this lows, right? With an impulsive candlestick pushing to the downside. You simply have to wait for close of the candlestick. Are we going to close above or are we going to close below? Because we can't have a big candlestick moving to the downside. But where is it going to stop? What traffic will it get? Which side of the left has once happened, which pushes or stops price from doing what it does, right? So we see now prices pushed to the downside. So the first trades that I could have took with this bullish trades right here, and I think it was on Thursday right here. I still remember this day, right? So when you now see that, okay, price did what now right here, created this type of zone. When you cleanly look at it, you can see that, okay, price has been breaking and breaking and breaking and reacting, right? So price did what? Pushed, boom, and push to the upside, pushing to the downside again, attempting to break below the zone, unfortunately having multiple rejections, pushing to the upside and spiking the zone for the last time. And look at what happened, right? So in such trades, people, in such trades, you guys know how I take this trades or how I base my trades. You can simply see that, okay, we have created some type of what, some type of highs right here, intraday highs and intraday lows, which are saying some type of support and some type of resistance. In something like this, you either wait for a break below or break above. But because we see multiple weak rejections, that gives us a clarity that price might be looking to do what? To push to the upside, right? Price did what? With a big candlestick and a bullish candle close, and the coming candlestick again being bearish, increasing bullish. And that was it. You follow me? That candlestick, this candlestick was initially my entry for me and the team, right? But unfortunately, I took this trade because I was fine in this time. I took some trades, couple of trades on it, right? This was a clean 1, 2, 3 that we were looking for, somewhere right there. Yeah, a clean 1, 2, 3 that we were looking for, right? So you can clearly see that, okay, this is our first trade, right? That we took, right? So when we now see that, okay, we're now kind of like reacting from a zone, right? We're creating some type of support again, intraday zone again, I repeat, price pushing to the upside, boom, and pushing to the downside, right? With a breakout and a break back in and a retest below, we can clearly see that we are holding this resistance, this intraday resistance, right? Holding this intraday resistance with price attempting to break out and repeat and breaking back in with a big candlestick breaking intraday lows, right? Or you can say that your demand, or your supply, or your support. I simply call them my support and my intraday lows, right? Breaking below intraday lows. The second candlestick, this candlestick was initially our entry with, because it opened bullish and turned and traded bearish, right? And I said once price trades below that intraday zone, right? Below that intraday what? This big candlestick to the downside. Let's look forward, the continuation to the downside, reacting to our what? To our intraday zones, like I said, having this what? Support, right? So this was the second trade that we anticipated for me and the team, right? But unfortunately, because it was a Wednesday for me, I don't trade on Wednesdays, but I showed up for my team and we made a vibe, right? So Thursday now, When you look at Thursday now, we can clearly see that, okay, we are still holding our support, right? When I woke up, I can clearly see that, okay, we're still holding our support. Okay, what's the reason that I need to take a trade on? Are we going to break below, or are we going to fall to break? That was my anticipation. Are we going to break below to continue to the downside, or are we going to fall to break, looking forward a move to the upside? So when you clearly see that we had this intraday highs for this previous intraday highs that made me execute a trade to the upside, right? Price coming back, pulling back to the downside with an intraday move that reacted off of this intraday lows, this intraday highs. Those intraday highs, I repeat, and price pushed to the downside, right? When I now see that, okay, we are having a bullish candle close on our London session, right? Our London open, we're having a bullish close, and the coming candlestick 10 a.m. was my entry candlestick, because I now saw that, okay, price has what a bullish candle close. We are still holding our support like price did the previous time, right? Let me just do it, anticipate a continuation to the upside for me and my team, right? Looking for the clean 42 pip. I still remember it was a 42 pip, and we took a 90 pip trade, right? That's was just what we were looking for, me and the team, people. We didn't look for much, we didn't look for less. All we just simply do, people, all we just simply base our interest on is that, are we going to break out, or are we going to fall to break? Are we going to get the momentum, or are we going to get the depletion? Is price respecting that zone, or is price violating that zone? And that's just it. How you base your entries, people, it's based on candlesticks, obviously, right? And your zones. I repeat, candlesticks and zones, that's where you base your entries. But when we mainly look at this, you can simply see that your zone plays a major role, and momentum and depletion of price also plays a major role. With now, if you look at how these trades were based, they were not that hard, and they were not simple in a way. It's just based on what is the momentum stepping in, or is the momentum stepping out, right? Are we having momentum? Are we having depletion? And that's just simply it, people. So you can clearly see that, okay, right here we had a word. On this one, I think we had a word, a 168. It was a clean 168, right? We had this clean 168 perp, right? Clean 168, clean 168, clean 168, people, clean 168. And then the second trade, it was a 206 pips, which was basically a word, a 1 to 4 again. And the third one, it was a clean 90 pip, which was a 1 to 2. So it's not like I'm trying to sell you all a course. I'm trying to make you all see something from what I'm trying to share, but I'm just trying to make you all understand that how we base our entries, how we look for our entries, has to be simple, disciplined, and patient. You also need to accept the risk. I do post losses, people, just to show you that, hey man, the markets sometimes don't favor what you anticipate. It's just that what it is. You ain't gonna do anything. Losses are just inevitable. All you just have to do, bro, is to just keep on executing, keep on raising your risk when you believe now is the time, and for you to stay patient and disciplined, and to just enjoy your trading. This is your boy Hannah, people. That's all I got in this video. I'm out.